Okay, bonus video for you today. I asked last week when I did my review of In the Heights, which I will leave linked up above, if you would like to see a comparison of regular versus Dolby versus Imax when it comes to watching In the Heights. So let's go ahead and do that. Welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel at least twice a week and then movie reviews here at the weekend. But this is a bonus movie review. As I said, I reviewed In the Heights last week and I knew that I was going to be seeing it in other formats, and so I wanted to bring you a comparison of the different formats here, and I know that this has just come out in the UK, and so I thought this would be a useful video if you are thinking of spending your movie going money to go and see this film, which you absolutely should do. Highly recommend this film. I really enjoyed it, even with the controversy that's come out with, you know, Lin-Manuel Miranda apologizing for not having more representation in the film. I still think that the musical as a whole, whether you're seeing it on stage or in the cinemas, is a great musical. I really enjoyed it. It's such a feel-good film. It represents good value for your cinema going money. So yes, highly recommend the film. That goes without saying. But this is a spoiler-free comparison of the three different formats. So I first saw this film in Dolby. I really enjoyed seeing it in Dolby because the Dolby screen is a bigger screen. And then normally I would be like, okay, it's a musical, 100% need to see it in Dolby because you've got that enhanced sound. You've got the in-seat speakers, you've got the ceiling speakers, you've got the wall speakers, you've just got speakers everywhere. It's also super dark in there, so you can be really focused on the film. And I definitely did enjoy seeing it in Dolby. I didn't think it was too loud. I like the size of the screen, and I like the fact that when we've got the kind of big numbers and the big scenes and the street scenes, you get that like atmospheric noise coming from different areas of the cinema. Comparing that to a regular size screen and a regular sound screen. Now, I did see this in a dine-in theatre, which is always slightly lighter than a regular theatre because obviously you're eating food, the servers are coming and bringing you food and what have you, but it, you know, it is definitely still dark and it is definitely still a decent size of screen. I would say that the film definitely felt a lot flatter on that less enhanced screen. It was definitely a much smaller screen and the sound was definitely noticeably different. I felt like all of your kind of, even with the big scenes, you were very much directed towards the front. You didn't feel like there was stuff happening around or behind you. I also feel like the opening felt slightly different. I don't know if there is a slightly like less edited version going on in the enhanced formats, or whether this was different because it was in a different brand of theatre. Let me know if you've seen it in multiple formats. Am I imagining that there was slightly less in the opening scene than in the regular screening than there was in the Dolby screening? I just feel like having then gone and seen another enhanced format that you got a little bit more in that opening number, like there was a little bit more panning into Washington Heights, panning over the George Washington Bridge, panning over the Hudson. You've got that kind of sky. I don't know. I would definitely say that seeing it in an enhanced format, if you can, if you're going to see this for the first time, or if it's still showing where you are in IMAX or Dolby, is definitely better than seeing it on the big screen. I have seen, obviously, the first 8 minutes, I think, were released onto you know, YouTube. Obviously, if you have HBO Max, you can watch it at home, but definitely recommend seeing it on a big screen over watching it at home, because I have watched those first 8 minutes that all the other movie reviewers here on YouTube are posting reaction videos to. So definitely recommend enhanced format over regular format, but recommend seeing it on any kind of big screen over watching it at home. It's nice to come home and watch the songs on YouTube after the fact. However, this brings me on to IMAX. For once, I am going to say that I think that this looked and sounded better in IMAX than it did in Dolby. That is a shocker, because I've already pre-ordered my Black Widow tickets and I've gone for Dolby rather than IMAX. You know, I'll probably end up seeing it in both, but I think that having seen it now in IMAX, I preferred seeing it in IMAX. I even feel like the sound was possibly better in IMAX than it was in Dolby. You know, if you're seeing this on the stage, it's gonna be, you know, a rip-roaring good time. You're gonna have the feeling of, like, you can feel the dancers' feet on the stage, and you get that feeling, you can feel it inside you can feel the bass. And I didn't necessarily get that feeling with Dolby, whereas I did get it with IMAX. Now, I have said before, when I've gone and seen things in IMAX, often IMAX can be a little loud. If I take Ollie to see things in IMAX with me, he brings his, like, gig-going earplugs, because it often is a little loud. However, I think that really suits this movie musical, because it needs to be loud, it needs to be brash. And because it was a stage show first, that feeling that you get when you go and see a musical in a theatre of, yeah, being able to kind of like feel their feet. If you're sat anywhere near the front, you kind of like feel the breeze when they're like whipping past you in like fast dance numbers. You get that in IMAX. I thought you would get it in Dolby, but I don't think that they've used those like seat speakers, the kind of butt kicker thing, to their fullest potential. When I went to see A Star Is Born, 100% they used those butt kicker seat speakers to the fullest potential. You know, when Bradley Cooper was going out onto that big stage and the drum was going right at the beginning, it was amazing. However, I don't think that they were used to the fullest potential in the Dolby cinema that I saw. You need to let me know in comments if you saw this in Dolby. Was it better? Was it a good experience? Because I feel like in this instance, IMAX is the winner here. I came out of that going, oh, I want to do it again in IMAX. But unfortunately, the next day, I was sat in that IMAX screen in the exact same seat, and it was Hitman's Bodyguard that was playing in there. I saw the last IMAX showing at my cinema. So if you are able to, my recommendation would be to see it in IMAX. But if you're going, should I see it at home versus should I watch it on the big screen? 100% watch it on the big screen. It's meant to be experienced in all the loud, big, in-your-face glory that it is. I really, really love this film. I have now seen it 3 times. I could see me potentially watching it again. It's definitely something that I will watch on the small screen, probably with Mum at some point, which is going to be amazing. Speaking of Hitman's Bodyguard, I reviewed that one yesterday for you, so I will leave that linked above in the end screen. It will have already been linked above. I will be back with more movie reviews for you on Sunday. I already have some tickets to see some interesting things this week, so you're going to want to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on that. If you enjoyed this video as a whole, like the comparison of the different things, I could potentially do that with probably Black Widow. So let me know if you'd like to see that. Definitely happy to go to the effort of seeing things in 3 or 4 different formats. I will be back with more bookish content for you very soon. So I will see you then. Thanks for watching.